All right, we are about to get started in this next edition of the Mic Drop series. I'm excited today because we are calling all Christian women come to the center. Come on, I need you to come up and present all of the amazing questions that you have and learn from my girl. Hello. It's your girl, Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva. Welcome to the Mic Drop series. We are celebrating Women's History Month, and we are doing it with some phenomenal women who are doing it their way, that are running businesses with a really strong foundation in who they are and who they target, because you can only serve who you want to serve, and you also have to know how you want to serve them. So we are using StreamYard. Definitely, I want your questions loud and clear. So give StreamYard permission to post your name, right? Ask your questions in the comments, and we will be going back and forth between those. I want you to understand fully that there's all different types of businesses. There are all different types of women doing businesses, and we are running and owning our own future. That's important. We are shaping what we want our worlds to be. And that's what the Mic Drop series is for. Plus, you're also going to learn some ways that you can do it without stressing, because you're not the only one, honey bunches of oats, that needs and wants to do that. So listen, I want to take you into I got all the details inside of the description. Click that link. Join us inside of the Q&A for the Puerto Rico Mind Body Business Reset Retreat this summer in July. Got a couple spaces ready for you with your name on it, but you got to be fearless enough to come. Now, talking about fearless enough to come. Hey, Regina. Listen, I'm going to be quiet. I've been talking for 2 minutes. I'm going to give you the mic, sis. Tell the beautiful people who you are, what you do, and what problems you slay in these internet streets. Your mic. Unmute your mic. Okay. For some reason, your mic keeps getting muted. Yeah. And then move away from the mouth.
Just move away from the mouth. You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
I moved away from the mouth. Thank you for that tip. Well, first I want to say thank you so much for inviting me to be here on your amazing platform. You are an amazing woman and doing some phenomenal things. And I feel so blessed and honored to be in this space with you and all the other amazing women that you've had and will have on your platform for this Mic Drop series. So thank you. So I am Regina, and I am your empowerment event strategist, as well as your visionary thought lead her. Yes, lead her. I started my journey years ago, 2005, I believe. And it started as a result of my father dying. He and I at that time did not have a great relationship. And I just didn't know where to put my grief. Should I be grieving? I didn't know. And the Lord just deposited, like he does, in my spirit to do those things that he has gifted me to do. And that is to be an encourager. So how do you encourage someone when you're going through? It takes a team, and it takes believing that God has called you for a time as now to do those things he has deposited in you. So I started with a weekend-long retreat. Yes, I go big. I started it with a weekend-long retreat on the beautiful, beautiful landscape of the Canandaigua Inn on the Lake, Canandaigua Resort Inn on the Lake here in upstate New York. Beautiful, beautiful place. And women came from near and far. and I poured into them. They poured into one another, and we had an amazing time operating in our gifts, learning what our gifts were. And from then on, it evolved. I strayed away from serving women. I served men, I served couples, I served young people. And then a few years back, God called me back to the beginning. My entity is called Be Ears from the beginning. And he called me back to serve women. And I've been doing that ever since in this arena, in this event arena space. And I love it. Actually, God had me operating in my space for a long time, but I didn't realize it. It started maybe when I was 4 or 5 years old, as a little girl, having tea parties among my huge family, because I come from a large family, y'all. It's not normal. It ain't normal. And yeah, started out having tea parties, went on having all kind of birthday parties, went on as an adult having events on my job, community event, corporate events. And I'm doing it now since 2005 on my own. Well, not on my own, because I definitely can't do this on my own. I do it with God and the team. Have events. But more so now, I pivoted a little, and I am encouraging and supporting Black Christian women empowerment leaders to have their events, to show up in their God anointed spaces. So that's a bit. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was trying to get to my mic. I was chatting and trying to
Oh,
get to my mic as well. So
okay.
listen, let's talk about your freebie that you
Mm-hmm.
dropped inside of the the mic drop event. So let me tell you this: the mic drop event is where I'm not only interviewing and honoring women that are doing the thing, that are fearlessly working in their expertise and sharing their gifts with the world and elevating others, therefore elevating themselves. But I also wanted to give back, because all of these women have something that's so super special that they do, and that we all can learn from, that we all can take pieces of this, and that we can say, okay, I want to implement this. I'm ready for this, or I'm thinking about doing this, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to do this. So I asked each one of these amazing sisters to come in and donate, to give us free 99 resources to be able to help you to get the first step, to get the first footing into that path or into that journey.
Mm-hmm.
So Regina, what did you donate to the mic drop series
Paula,
freebie bag? Because it's a
I
whole
just love.
bag. It's like 11, 12 different freebies
Mm-hmm.
for
Yes,
free.
yes, yes. I just love your spirit. I really do. And what I am giving you all today, this day, I am giving you an opportunity to join our private community, our private Facebook community, among a sisterhood of others who are in the same lane, in the same journey as you. Some are farther along in the journey, and some, like Paula was saying, was just putting their toes in and seeing if this is the fit for them. And I just know that and I just started this private event, and already we're almost to 100 women. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. That lets me know that people are saying yes to showing up for themselves and showing up for others. So in our community, it's a close-knit community, and we share what we're doing. You get tips and tools and strategies on this whole event space, because, as you know, things have changed. They've changed a bit, and we're on top of the game. I'm totally committed to bringing you pertinent things that are happening now, applicable things that you can use right now. And we also have a lot of fun, because if you know me, and I hope you will get to know me, those who do not, I love having fun. So it's not me, like I'm a minister, but I'm not preaching to you, not all the time. I am sharing with you how you can develop and make your event a signature event, something that you can do from now and forever, as long as God is calling you to operate in that lane. What stands out more than anything in this community is that it's for Black Christian women empowerment leaders. And you can be in a lot of different communities, and I encourage you to, go here and there, but always have a place where you can land. And this is a place where you can land, where you can be supported and encouraged. And you don't have to worry about somebody, mimicking you and what do they say? I don't even get into the negative stuff. So I have to think about the haters. We don't have to worry about any of that, because we just love on each other and encourage each other and support each other. And not just with words, because support is more than with our words. Support is with our time. Support is with our attention. Support is with our finances. And that's what we do in our Black Christian Women's Circle. You have to.
Let me tell you this. When they get into now, the link for the Mic Drop series bundle bag, it's in the description already. So all you have to do is click on it. Is bit.ly/mic drop series. It don't get no easier than that. When you
Right.
open that up, you're actually going to get access to 11 different freebies. So at each one of these entrepreneurs have donated something that's super powerful and special, that's going to help you level up, that's going to give you a little bit more education and information towards the things that you have in your hopes and your dreams bag. Because we all as entrepreneurs have hopes and dreams bag. We have this bag where we want to do so much, but we have to focus on one thing and really steer the course on that one thing before we move through to something else. And I say that because I'm a serial entrepreneur, and sometimes that's been frowned upon. You hear, oh, you've got to do really well in one thing, focus on one thing before you do something else. And sometimes all of your things just have this way of filtering and melting into each other.
Yes.
If you can figure that thing out and it makes sense, and I'm giving y'all some free coaching here, so y'all need to tip me. But if you figure that thing out, then it doesn't feel like you're being pulled in different directions. It actually feels like you're being authentic. What do you think about that, Regina?
Oh gosh, I think that I really believe that every entrepreneur struggle with that, because we're visionaries and we're always, here and there and doing the thing, trying to figure it out. However, and I was told the same thing. I was told that, okay, you focus on one thing, focus on one thing. And what I realized is that that's not who I am. That's not how I operate. So I did figure out how to have all roads leading to one place. And it takes a lot of focus, intentional focus. I have on my shirt, it says celebrate intentionally on purpose. And that's what we have to do in our business. We have to focus intentionally on purpose. And that does not necessarily mean that, I'm going to say it like this. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have different streams of revenue coming in.
So let me ask this, because your focus is Christian women, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why focus on Christian women?
I'm focusing on Christian women because women in general serve and pour. And Christian women serve and pour free most of the time. And they get burnt out most of the time. And they do it in silence most of the time. And they wear this mask most of the time. Okay. And I know, because I've been, church has been a part of my life all my life. Having an intimate relationship, that's different than going to church. Okay. Having an intimate relationship with the Lord has been a part of my life all the time. It's been layers to this thing. And what I saw, I didn't like. And what I grew to understand about having a relationship with God, it didn't blend with what I was seeing. Okay. So when I took that bold step to operate in the gift that God has given me, first I was obedient. This is why I'm doing Christian women, because first I was obedient and God said women. Now I strayed away, like I said earlier, not strayed away, I evolved and did some things. And then God called me back because he said, daughter, I need you. I need you because you've seen this up close. I need you to pour into the women. Now I'm going to go here and say I was one of those women. Unbeknownst to me, because sometimes you don't know until you know. And it was going through some things that I realized that I too was wearing a mask. I remember going into, I hope I'm answering your question, but I remember, I remember going into a job one day when I was working for others. And my manager at that time, she said, you know what, girl? When you come into a room, you just light up the room. You know, I used to hear that all the time. I still do. That's the energy. That's my energy. That's my energy. And she said, you just light up a room. Wherever you go, you just light up a room. Let me tell y'all something. What she didn't know is that time in my life was the absolute worst time of my life during that time. I was wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask with a smile and, getting the work done and, showing up and staying late and doing all the stuff, right? Because as a woman, we do that. As a Christian woman, we work to excellence, right? Even if that means working our fingers to the real bone. I won't go into all the details of what was going on in my life at that time, but what I will say is that I too was wearing the mask. I too understood because I too was that Christian woman. And I realized that I couldn't live like that. So I stopped. By the grace of God, the love of God, the mercy of God, I stopped. And I answered the call to help other Black Christian women who are wonderful empowerment leaders not work from an empty cup. Because this is the thing, and I know you've heard it, we cannot give what we do not have. We think that we're serving the people, but we're just giving them a fragment of what they really need because we don't have it. But when we pour into ourselves, when we allow others to pour into us, and then operate from our overflow, because we are supposed to operate from our overflow, not just a full cup, an overflow. When we learn to receive that and operate in that, then as Christian leaders, empowerment leaders, we are really doing what God has called us to do. We are really making a difference. We're really making an impact. We're really drawing those into the kingdom. We're really creating the lives that our mask shows that we want to lead, that we are leading. That's why I serve Black Christian empowerment leaders, Black Christian women empowerment leaders, because I was once her. I know how it feels. I also know how it feels to get to the other side.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When it comes to wearing a mask, serving and showing up on E, I think that's something that's in our DNA as women. I feel like as women, that's what we do because we are nurturers from the core. However, Christian women,
Come on. Come on.
it's like we're told to always serve on E and we will get our cup filled from some place. But we don't know what the place is. We just
Right.
have to believe. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
questioning anybody's belief. I was raised in the church and I love my church and I love my foundations in the church. But I do know that we also are empowered to fill our own cup
Right, right, right.
and and we are empowered with gifts to be able to keep our cup filled.
Absolutely.
So it goes back to the first book I wrote. I was very privileged to write a compilation with some amazing women called, and the name of the book is God Doesn't Want You to Be Broke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That part. That
God
part.
does not want you to be broke. Okay.
No, no.
Because there's something about having your spirituality and living with less. There's something about living in your religious beliefs and still having some suffering that goes through. There's something about not being able to like show your excellence because it seems as if you are being too joyful about it, that you're just it doesn't fit, like the two don't go together. Like we're not supposed to show our excellence, right, our gifts and this amazing life that we built with those gifts and that excellence with the gifts that God has given us, right? We're not supposed to show what that looks like in the world because we need to be humble.
You
And
know,
I'm the opposite of that.
yeah, yeah, me too. You see, I had a yellow shirt that all say celebrate and all of that. I'm totally the opposite. You
So
know,
I love the fact that you are working with women to help pull all of that out and help them really like sit in their excellence
hmm hmm
and not be quiet about it. Because there's so many Christian women that have businesses that nobody knows about because they're
hmm
quiet.
yeah, yeah. You know, Paula, there's a song that I sing every day. I have two young, what I call, whom I call Hershey chocolate candy bar great babies. All of that because
Say
they're
that
all
one more time. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hershey chocolate candy bar great babies because they are all of that. All of
Okay.
that.
Okay.
They mine, and I sing to them every time I have them. One is in school, one is not, one is in kindergarten, and I sing, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine in my neighborhood, in my house, in my school, everywhere I go, because I want them to know that the word of God does not say to hide your gifts. As a matter of fact, when you hide your gifts, God takes them away from you. But that's a whole nother story.
That's
Okay,
a whole nother.
a whole nother story. All right. And and another thing, this is the word. This is the word. God tells us that we are the head and not the tail. Okay. He says that he has 1,000 calves on 1,000 hills and they all belong to us. That don't sound like lack to me. Okay. And so that's where I come from. And we have to study to show ourselves approved. God said, we are marvelously made. We are marvelously made. He said to speak those things. Okay, and they should come to pass. He also said, when two or more are gathered, I didn't come to preach. I did not come to preach. I promise
Go,
you I
girl, go, go.
did. But he tells us these things. And if we study and we have that intimate, that's what I said, intimate relationship and going to church. Those are two different things. Okay. When we have those intimate relationships with the Lord, he knows that we are to be boastful, but be boastful in him, be boastful in the things that he's given us to do. Okay. According to his perfect will. And we need to learn to operate in his will, to align ourselves with his will, to be in alignment. See, when we're in alignment, we don't get tired because we're being poured into constantly. Okay, we cannot, and then wait, let me just say this. God says to rest. God rested. Okay, God went and he took some time to be alone. Jesus went and took some time to be alone. All right, he had to get filled up. Okay, we're in this Advent season, and I'm not going to go too much into that because oh my graciousness,
That's a whole nother
that's a whole nother
show.
thing. That's a
It's a
whole
whole
nother
nother
thing.
thing.
Okay, and let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this. So when God was going through the streets, right? When he was going through the streets of Golgotha, he didn't care. He carried the cross, yes, but guess what? What they don't say? People helped him from in the crowd. They helped him. He had help. He had help carrying that cross. And we think we got to bear it all alone, all by ourselves. The weight of the world is on our shoulders. Now, sis.
You said a
Now,
whole
boo.
thing. You said a whole thing. But and it's difficult because in the entrepreneurial world, you see people that show up and they made it. It's like they're at their top. So you see people that are at the top or at the top of from where they came from, but you don't see the journey that it took for them to get there. You don't see the things that they tried that didn't work. You don't see the connections that they made that were not true. You don't see them changing and shifting the direction of their businesses. But all of these things we don't give ourselves permission to do. No one wants to seem or appear as if I'm just starting. We want to seem and appear as if we have it all together. And
Mhm.
it's this world that we live in that makes
Yes.
us feel like
Yes.
we need to show up and fake it till we make it. But I'm a huge proponent of show the journey.
Yes.
Like show people that there's some growth there. Show
Yes.
people why you are the expert. You
Yes.
didn't just wake up one day and become the best selling pant maker in the world. There was some things that happened along the way that helped you get there. Maybe
Mhm.
you started with dresses and figured out dresses wasn't your thing.
Come on.
Then you went to shorts because it was summer, but you felt like summer was too short. But then you was like, pants is always gonna be in season, winter, summer, spring, fall. So let me figure that thing out. Like you need to show people that it's okay for them to start something and shift and pivot in the middle because we don't all know the answers at the beginning.
No.
And that's huge for entrepreneurs because they don't want to show up.
Yeah.
So when I'm working with my clients, especially inside of the Problem Slayer Academy, the hardest part is them showing up
Come.
consistently because
Mhm.
they don't want to look a certain way.
Yeah.
They don't want to look like they don't have it together. And I keep telling them, touch it. If
Come
you
on.
look at my first TikToks and my TikToks now, you will see the growth. When you look at my first YouTube videos that are still on this channel and this one right here, you will see the growth.
Yes.
You want to be with somebody that's done all the mistakes so that
Mhm.
they can teach you what not to do.
Right.
You want somebody to speak to you from experience when your elders pull you to the side, and I'm a grandma's girl. Like my grandparents, they raised me on both sides. I tell the story all the time. My parents worked their shifts, so I had my parents with me. But my dad's parents, I would stay with them at night after school, eat, pack my little bag, go to my grandma's house, and I stayed with them until the next morning and they would take me to school. On the weekends, I was always at my mom's grandmother's house, mom's house. So
Mhm.
they were about 6, 7 minutes in either direction from my house. So I got the best of both of my grandparents growing up, right? Um, and so when I used to sit and listen to their stories, the best part about their stories isn't the thing they did right. The best part about their stories are the things they did wrong, the things they messed up in, the things they got caught doing. That's the juicy part of their story. Those are the pieces that we're not allowing ourselves to live in so that we can share those stories, which are really our gifts to other
Absolutely.
people.
Absolutely.
So I want to talk about your group, right? Because I think it's important that we understand the power of building a tribe and community, especially when you're doing something that you've never done before, that may not have all the support around you. Why why did the group come to be? Like how did the group come to be?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. That's a great question. And I'm going to start by saying you mentioned, we don't know, starting out, we don't know what to do in the beginning, but we know who does. God knows. God knows the beginning from the end. Okay. So I just want to add that part. And so, how this particular community came to be, and just know that, like Paula said, I've been on this journey for a while, so I've pivoted. I told you I've shared my space with men, with couples, young people. Um, in this space, I got to take a deep breath for a minute. This space came to be as a result of losing my son, my eldest son, um, 6 months ago, and I didn't know where to put my grief. I absolutely did not know where to put my grief. I was in such a desolate place, and God spoke to me. And he said, I need you to encourage others. And I thought God had lost his mind. Like, that sounds crazy, but it's so real. I was like, I know God did not tell him, just said that to me. So I kind of like let it go because that could not be in my state of where I was at to encourage someone. Come on now, really? And God wouldn't let it go, and he doesn't. And he said it again and again and again and again. And I cried. Every time I heard it, I cried. I cried. I mean, like sobbing, cry, like, no, I can't, I won't, I don't want to. How can I? All the stuff, all the stuff. And God being God, loving me the way he does, he was gentle with me. And he told me again, with so much love, I need you, daughter, to go and encourage others. So then I said, how? We always wondering how. And God is the how. And he said, trust me. So he poured in my spirit to reach out to other women. And I did. And let me tell you something so wonderful about following God. When you follow God, when you follow God, you win. You win. It may not be the success that the world tells you it's supposed to look like, but it's bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. And so I reached out to amazing women. And let me tell you how obedient, what obedient will give you. Every woman that I asked to help me reach out to other women by sharing their stories of their journey, of the trials, of the triumph to trials, they all said one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Everyone told me yes, without hesitancy. I was blown. I mean, every time I got a yes, I cried. I would hang up and I would cry. I would get off of Zoom, or if I reached out to them that way, and I would cry because I knew it was God. I knew it was God doing what God was doing. So I had a week-long series of having amazing, phenomenal, strong Black women on my platform sharing their stories of triumph through trials. Now they shared, as Paula was saying, they shared all the journey. They shared the stuff that most don't talk about or hear about. They shared that, and they shared it unapologetically. And all the while this was going on, God was speaking to me, and he was saying, there's more, there's more, there's more. Mind you, I was grieving. I'm still grieving the loss of my son suddenly. And so when God said there's more, I was just like, okay, okay, okay. So after the series of 7 days, and it was a full 7 days, I had no less than 3 interviews a day, up to 5. 7 days, something about 7, right? 7 days, seven is completion. And that part was completed. Some time rolled by, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. I'm not sure. God spoke to me and he said, I need you to gather the women. I need you to gather the women because I need you to pour into them. Because see, I have been poured into. Just a side note, the series is going on again this week in my community. And you will see, you go there, you will see that I started out one way and I ended another way. And those who were on and those who participated and those who watched, they started one way and they ended up another way. And that's just how God works. See, you walk with God and you talk with God and you just have some time with God. You start out one way and you end up another way. Not saying that it's going to be all good and gravy right in the middle, but trust God that you start this way, you're going to end up another way. And that's exactly what happened and will happen with you in your space. If you, not if, once you watch the series. So he said, I need you to pour into the women. I need you to pour into more women. And I need you to help them do what you're doing. I need you to help them do what you're doing. Because see, God gave me a number to reach 7 million. And I can't do that alone. Like, seriously, like, that's not going to happen by myself. I can't do that alone. And God said it's not supposed to be. And so I started our private community of Black Christian women, empowerment leaders. And we come together and we support and love on one another. And we share our journeys. And we share tips and tools. It's not just me giving everything. Everyone is a part of this. Everyone is in their space receiving and giving, because that's what it's all about. We're not afraid to give. We're not afraid to share. And that's what the community is all about.
So The link is inside of the freebie bonus bag. It is one of 11. If you click the link, that's scrolling underneath, and also inside the description, bit.ly// mic drop series, you'll be able to download not only that link. We did, who did we talk to earlier? We talked to Saida, who is a content creation strategist, and she actually has a workbook on how to create content that's inside of the freebie bag. Demisha Samuels, who's a LinkedIn expert, but she's also an event strategist as well. She's been doing online events for years behind the scenes. She actually has a one-page cheat sheet for you on how to launch. So I'm telling you, the things that you need, the structure, because if you like me, I'm a Capricorn. I need the bullets.
I'm a
Okay.
Capricorn.
I got ideas. Okay. I can fill it in, I can flesh it out, but I need the bullets. I need, okay, step one, step two,
Check.
step three. Okay. I'm going to highlight it because that's over. Now let me go to the next one. Now I'm going to highlight this one because I completed that test. I need that. That's who I am, especially as an entrepreneur, because I have so many things going on in my head. And so this entrepreneurial world is super fun. It's exciting, but it is like birthing a baby. The
Yes.
only thing is your baby grows up and gets to do their own thing. Now, I'm a testament to that because my 17-year-old just bought his own plane ticket and
Ooh.
flew here to see his auntie for her birthday, all on his own. So he's spreading his wings. Your business will not.
It's
Your
gonna
business will always ebb and flow. Your business will always shift and pivot because you, as a creative, will always want to do more. You will always want to change the trajectory of your business. So definitely dig into this tool bag that we're giving you inside of the Mic Drop series, where you can download all of these freebies to be able to store, even if you're not ready to save them in your Google Doc for when you are. Get your toolkit together. Sometimes you may not even think you're going to do a thing. And in 3 years, you're like, oh, where was that cheat sheet on launching an event? Right? Or maybe you're being asked, you're finding that your demographic for your business largely comprises of Christian women. What was that group that Regina was talking about in the mic drop? You just never know how your business is going to ebb and flow. So before we close out, Regina, I just want to ask you why. I asked you two things. I got two things for you. What was the hardest part about deciding to do this entrepreneur thing? What was the hardest part that you had to get over?
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you asked that because it's all about the mask I was wearing. Being transparent. Because I'm a private person. I'm a Capricorn, proud Capricorn. And we can be private people. We're outgoing people, but we can be private people. And I'm a private person, and being transparent and letting people in on who I am and letting them know that I'm not perfect. I have some things going on all the time. Life is like this, and to bring them along with me on my journey as I encourage them to really flow in their journey. That was the most difficult part. And I want to add this. It came to my attention. My girlfriend was watching me live and she said, you know what? They not really seeing the real you. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, I'm all polished, right? I'm doing what I do. And she said, no, because you're fun and your energy and you're this and you're just like stoic. And I'm like, really? And she's my best friend. And, best friend's going to tell you the real truth. And so I had to, let people in on, me. I like to have fun. I am I am like the Energizer Bunny. And she was like, you're being stoic. So yeah, just being transparent. That was difficult for me as a private person.
Yeah, I could see that. There's some pieces to being a Capricorn if we're going to go in that lane, because we are perfectionists. We think things out. We love a good strategy. And so if we don't know the how, the one, two, and the three, we stop. We got to get the one, two, and the three, right? We're not just gonna step out there without a plan. The plan and the plan can change. That's the other thing about us Capricorns. We pivot like whatever. We like, oh, that didn't work. Okay. Well, let me flip my hair this way. Does this work? Okay. We will change that thing in a minute. So that's the other piece about being the Capricorn, is that we are always we got to be in motion. We got to have
Yes.
some like skeleton of a plan,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
but that's all we need,
Yes.
because we can bridge that thing as we
Come,
go.
come
And
on.
so I think it's important for all of the women that do have mask on
Mhm.
to hear and see that there's a community for them,
Yes.
to hear and see that they are going to be surrounded and loved by other women
Mhm.
who are moving through the same emotions and at different stages than they are. That's important. To be with someone who's in the same struggle as you side by side is not always advantageous for you. You need the foresight of someone who's walked in your steps. You need the foresight and you need the apprehension of someone that's behind you to let you know how far ahead of the game you really are, so
Yes.
you can pat yourself on the back, you can brush your shoulders off, you can
Mhm.
hold your chest high and really celebrate where you are in the journey of your business. So it's important to have people that are in different layers of their transition of their journey that have the same mindset as you and that may have the same fears as you, but also the same desires. So I'm excited for all of the new people that are going to be watching this, that are going to click the grab bag. I call it something different every time. I don't know if it's a bundle bag, a grab bag, a freebie bag. It's free 99, okay?
Bad.
The link don't change, okay? The link is still below. So go ahead in the description, click on bit.ly/, Mic Drop Series, and grab all of these freebies. There's even some health and wellness stuff in there, because y'all
Mhm.
know that my full-time job is as a fitness professional. That's who I am. That's what I do. Um, bam, um, bam. Yeah, we got some stuff in there for you too.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the second question I was going to ask you is, why did you decide to do the mic drop series?
Oh, that's easy because you are absolutely wonderful. Because you are the goat. Y'all, she the goat. Paula Marie, Ebony Biz Diva is the GOAT. And to be side by side, let me tell you something. It's something to be said about the company that you keep. Okay. It's something to be said about the company that you keep. And I've always surrounded myself with amazing people, even as a young girl, always. And now it's no different. So when you asked if I would be willing to come on, I'm like, Willie, what? When? What time? Give me your calendar. I told you I'm animated. But yes, because you are an amazing woman doing amazing things. I am honored, truly. I'm honored to be among your guests, to share your platform, and to call you sis. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I want to say thank you on air, because originally my calendar wasn't together. And Regina, we were going on this past weekend, and I forgot that I actually just completed a huge certification this weekend teaching another format in fitness called Gyrotonic. And I teach here locally in the DC area at a gyrotonic studio. It's actually the largest gyrotonic studio on the East Coast. And it is a training facility. So I'm super, super proud to call that my home base. This is a little bit about gyrotonic and what it looks like, but I've been teaching it in my teacher training for the last year. and I tested out. I'm certified.
That part.
So I totally forgot about that. And I was like, OMG, I can't do both. So Regina was gracious enough to switch the time and the date. And I just want to say thank you so much for your flexibility in that, because literally March is a whirlwind for me. The other thing that Regina and I are in a couple of communities together, but the other thing that binds us is that we both lost our sons. So we both are grief warriors. We are both like pushing through, trying to figure out how do we like um, honor our sons and also honor ourselves as women, because when you go through something that traumatic, and I know I'm talking to somebody that I don't know who you are, but you're going through something or you've been through something and you feel like I don't know. It's okay, you don't have to know. It will present itself to you, whatever your purpose is, whatever your dreams are, whatever your desires are. When you get through that piece, right, you'll learn how to honor that piece. Because I think Regina said earlier, you just never stop grieving something that big of a loss, but there are ways that it manifests itself into greatness. And for me, I always try to think about what are the lessons that, that 18-year-old, that 12-year-old, that 2-month-old, what are those lessons that I got from him being a first-time mom? So that's the other thing that aligns and binds Regina and myself in that journey, and how we help to elevate other women through whatever the
Yeah.
journey is, the
Yeah.
struggle is that they are like digging themselves through. Because life,
Mm-hmm.
life,
Definitely.
life,
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah.
Can I add one thing?
You may, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a little not guilty plug. Like I mentioned earlier, in our community, we are having a series, Triumph Through Trials. And I want you to know that Paula, your diva, is among the phenomenal women who graciously told me yes. So you want to come on over and hear her story up close and personal. Just want to add
Let me tell y'all something, Linda. Okay, listen, Linda.
that.
When you got a tribe, I
Mm-hmm.
say this all the time, y'all. When you have a tribe, when they move, you move.
Just like that.
Just like that, period. And it doesn't mean that every time they move, you move. Sometimes they move. I can't move exactly the way they moving, but I'm celebrating them. I'm uplifting them. I'm building them. I'm cheering them on in excellence, right? So when you have a tribe, that's your support. That's your foundation. Some of you don't have your tribe yet.
Mm-hmm.
Regina has a space for you with your name on it. So you can come in and look around, you can check stuff out, you can get a drink, you can like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sit down and eat you some lunch, have
Got
some
all that.
coffee, chat with people. You can figure it out. Figure out if that's your tribe. Don't think that you have to do this thing alone. Don't think, because God does not want us to be broke.
No,
Okay?
no.
Period.
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 That part.
Listen, thank you so much, Regina, for coming on today. I appreciate you and I love you with all my heart and my soul.
Oh, back at you.
And sharing another perspective on how to be a boss, right? I think it's super important that we do that. I think it doesn't always look one way, it
No,
looks the way you want it to look. You shape and mold what that vision looks like. I'm always telling
absolutely.
my story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's more than one vernacular. And that's what Christian women get stuck on. They think that they're only supposed to be doing things in the church. Okay. And no, it's not. He said God went out. He and his disciples, they went out. All right. They met people where they were at. And we as Black Christian women leaders, we have to meet people where they're at. And in the community, we're showing you just how to do that. And we got your back.
Got you. Yeah, because women support women. When
Mm-hmm.
women support women, you see the
Woo.
excellence overflow.
Mm-hmm.
When women support women, you see it reverberate back into you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
So when women support women, and we do, we're nurturers. When
Mm-hmm.
women support women, we all win. And I will tell you that women are figuring it out by starting these businesses in droves. They are realizing their worth. They are saying goodbye to the drama of the workforce. Now, I ain't trying to tell you to quit your job, honey, but I'm just telling you to start thinking about how you want your life to look like
That's
and
right.
how you want to wake up every day and lay your head down every evening. I
That
want
part.
you to get the vision in your head. I want you to feel that in your heart. And I want you to understand that it can be yours. We can plan that thing out. But first, get that grab bag, jump into Regina's group,
Thank
do
you.
some of the other things that are in that freebies,
Mm-hmm.
and then, yeah, let's talk about it. All
Yes.
right, I'm done. I got to go. But listen, have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you so much for joining us in this moment of the Mic Drop series. We've got more to come. Go to bit.ly/Mic Drop series to grab your grab bag and also to get a list of all of the different series. We go all the way through to March 25th. There's too many powerful women for you to miss. So make sure that you do that. That's your call to action. And I can't wait to see you. If you are hashtag replay, please come in and share and drop some questions in the comments because I will be circling back around. Regina will be circling back around. And then you'll also have direct access to her inside of the group. So it don't get no better than that. All right. Listen, I will talk to you all later. Have an
Been
amazing
phenomenal.
day. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.